People here really aren't messing around, but it was a good point that you made that it did seem to happen pretty quickly. The governor of Florida, Rick Scott, did declare a state of emergency in 35 counties and made that mandatory evacuation order about 24 hours ago, and basically said an hour ago, that's it, your time is up. If you were in these low-lying areas, you're sort of out of time to get to a shelter. When it comes to businesses, many of them did heed the warnings and closed as of midday yesterday. We're talking about big businesses like Walmart and Lowe's. Some were able to stay open a little bit later, but many of them actually started closing earlier than anticipated. Even the Waffle House closed at 2 o'clock local time here, the one nearby. Now, when it comes to crops, luckily, 2/3 of the citrus crop in Florida is really in the lower 2/3 of the state. So most of the storm's path is going to miss that. But when you talk about the storm hitting Georgia, the cotton crop is really at risk. Only about 12% of it has been harvested as of earlier this week. Duke Energy is forecasting between 100,000 and 200,000 people will lose power. They've got 17,000 in total power restoration personnel on standby, but they really can't get in and restore anything until the winds die down to below 35 miles an hour. When it comes to transportation, the airports are closed from Fort Walton Beach to Tallahassee. The ports are closed in Alabama, Mississippi, the port here in Panama City, as well as the port of Pensacola. So really, unfortunately, we're running out of time, and this storm is still several hours away, but there's already been flooding in Apalachicola, so it's coming fast and furious. Back over to you guys.
Hey, Courtney, I know it's hard to gauge, but your best guess in terms of how many people were actually able to heed these warnings and evacuate given the short notice?
Yeah, and we talked to the Highway Patrol and asked them that very same question, and they said that actually the traffic had been relatively light by sort of late in the day yesterday. But when I was on the roads, there weren't really very many people on the roads in either direction, which tells me they either hunkered down early or they left. But then we talked to other people at Home Depot who were buying plywood, boarding up their homes. I said, why didn't you evacuate? And some of them said, actually, we haven't really decided yet if we're going to evacuate. So I think it all comes back to your point earlier on with Kaylee that this sort of came a little fast and caught a lot of people a little flat-footed.